Welcome to Ask the Expert. I'm Greg Kirkham, and today we're joined by Dave Allred, founder, managing partner, and CEO of Axia Partners based in Lehigh, Utah. Dave, welcome to the show, my friend. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Greg. Honored to be here, man. Excited for this. Let's go.
Yeah, let's dive right in. So first, how did you get started in the industry?
So I grew up in a small town here in Utah called Manti. Broken home, very dysfunctional home, ran away when I was 17. Ended up getting into summer sales, direct to home sales, selling home security systems out in Chicago. And supposed to be for one summer, ended up turning into a 16-year leadership career, managing 121 sales teams in 41 states. And I learned a ton from that. Really grateful for that experience. It was very, very difficult. Honestly, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But I'm grateful for not having quit. About 80% of the guys that went out that first year did quit. I was able to, persevere and get through that summer, made $31,000, which for me was, more than my parents ever made. And it was, to this day, I'd say it was the most important money I've ever made in my life. Came back the next year as a sales manager, made $156,000, which was incredible for me. It kind of broke through a lot of those limiting beliefs that I had growing up. I started this beautiful leadership career. Along the way, I realized that one of my core motivators is freedom. I just want to have a lot of freedom in my life to be doing life the way I want to, right? With the people I want to be doing it with, when I want to be doing it. And so that drive for creating real freedom in my life has been a big motivator. And, initially it was a real focus on financial freedom, which I would define as having enough passive recurring income to pay for your cost of living. But then once I achieved that, it pivoted more towards time freedom, which is the most valuable resource that we have. And from that, it really switched over to a focus on lifestyle freedom, which I would just say is basically, curating and designing the life that you really want, instead of waiting until retirement, living that life now. And that's really what got me started in the real estate space. So, after 17 years of this leadership career, I started investing into real estate, and began my next chapter, which has been full-time real estate professional. Currently run a real estate firm called Axia Partners, based out of Utah as well. We're a national firm focused on recession resilient commercial real estate, so multifamily, self-storage, industrial warehouse, and RV parks.
Wow, fantastic story, right? And then not only that, but you also did you just launch your fund? Is that where it was, or has been around for a while?
Yeah. So we launched about 4 years ago. Prior to that, I was doing a lot of what's called syndications, where I'd raise capital for individual, multifamily deals across the country. Helped bring a Topgolf into Utah County, right here in our backyard. And I started investing in funds, and I fell in love with the fund model because it mitigates so much downside risk, right? Where you're investing into a fund where it has multiple different assets or even asset classes, and also geographical diversification in multiple different states. And so, I'm really proud to be able to say I've raised a little over $50 million personally towards real estate deals, and I've never once lost $1 of investor capital in any real estate deal I've ever raised money for. And I'm really proud of that reputation. I've got about 400 or so investors, and it's all friends, family, kind of just my social network. And so, in the spirit of being able to, protect and mitigate downside risk, decided to launch the firm about 4 years ago. And so we utilize a fund structure, and our first fund's done very, very well. We launched a second fund about 2 years ago, which is also doing very well. And this week, we're actually launching our third fund, which is called the Axia Distressed Opportunity Fund. And so we're focusing on two asset classes. One is multifamily, which I love, multifamily apartments. And then it's also RV parks, destination RV parks. And we did that because a lot of our investors have really wanted to get more passive income, and they want to see those distributions starting a lot sooner. And so with RV parks, we're able to create immediate cash flow distributions for our partners. And then, with the multifamily, it's called value add, where we find these older, workforce apartment complexes that need a lot of love, a lot of improvements, a lot of capital repairs. And so we go and we do what's called value add improvements, increase the quality of life for the tenants, and also are able to increase rents. And that creates a really strong revenue stream for our investors. But that process takes a little bit longer. And so we couple that with the RV parks, we're able to create immediate cash flow and then also really strong equity appreciation through the value add process. And so basically, an investor comes in, if they come in for whatever, $100,000, and they get exposure, real equity exposure to not only two different asset classes, but multiple different assets. So multiple RV parks, multiple apartment complexes, and it's also across the country. So it's the ultimate definition of diversification. So it's been really fun. It's a way to be able to break down the barrier of entry and let a lot of people come in and partner with us on commercial real estate deals. Otherwise, we wouldn't have any access to. And so it's been really fun, man. One of my personal goals in my life is to be able to create direct value for at least 10 million people and help at least 1,000 people create true financial freedom through real estate. And so this has been a way for me to be able to really create impact and do that at scale. But yeah, we're really excited about it. So we're launching this new fund this week. It's been about a year in the background working on getting this ready to go, but we are officially launching and couldn't be more excited, especially with the timing right now in the market. There's been a lot of distress in the commercial markets, and so we feel like this is very well timed.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah, and as far as venture capital, as far as investing, as far as funds, that's one of the reasons why we started the NXC Podcast Network. So definitely can appreciate that. And also congratulations on being able to say that you've never lost an investor's dollar. That's fantastic. So, well, hey, Dave, thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your insights. To learn more about Dave Allred and Axia Partners, visit asktheexperttv.com.